We will also work to welcome more family and home-based childcare providers into our programs. That's how I felt when we came up with this plan. For too long, these providers have been cut off from participating. Together, we will expand the idea of what is possible in our city and what sounds and noises we can make at a press conference. That expansion begins in a real, tangible way today with the launch of our RFI and expansion survey. Very clearly, these are programs for every single New Yorker. These are not programs that are going to ask the immigration status of any one of the children. All of those children are New Yorkers. They should all be enrolled in pre-K and 3K, no matter where they were born or where they come from. If faith offers us the moral compass to stand alongside the stranger, government can provide the resources. Let us create a new expectation of City Hall, where power is wielded to love, to embrace, and to protect. We will stand with the stranger today, tomorrow, and all the days that are still to come. And that is why this morning, right here in this moment, I shall sign an executive order that will uphold our city's protection not just of our fellow immigrant New Yorkers, but of all New Yorkers from abusive immigration enforcement. This order is a sweeping reaffirmation of our commitment to our immigrant neighbors and to public safety as a whole. We will make it clear once again that ICE will not be able to enter New York City property without a judicial warrant. That means our schools, our shelters, and our hospitals. That means we will protect New Yorkers' private data from being unlawfully accessed by the federal government and stand firmly against any effort to intrude on our privacy. No New Yorker should be afraid to apply for city services like childcare because they are an immigrant. This order mandates that essential city agencies are complying with city laws and directs them to conduct thorough audits of all policies guiding agency interactions with immigration authorities. And it will establish an interagency response committee so that in the event of a major crisis, we are ready and equipped to do the job of protecting New Yorkers.
Remember when they said Trump wasn't racist? Yeah, about that. Trump just posted a video on Truth Social with this in it. One side believes in democracy, the other side posts racist AI videos of the Obamas. It's a choice.
And this group is gathered to sing them into the common good. Thank you. No, give me a high five. Oh, yeah. calling ICE agents to quit their jobs, to leave that dysfunctional organization that has chosen to use harm and threat.
Would you like to see the Bible taught in public schools?
Oh, of course. Of course. We used to teach it in public schools all the time. We used to read out of it, teach out of it, and everything. And
Would it be taught as a history book, a science book?
it can be taught as any book you want to teach it as, because it does prove that science is true according to creation, and it does prove history, and it does prove that he is who he said he is, which is the one and only God.
And how old is the Earth?
How old is the Earth? At least over 6,000 years old.
Do you think that humans and dinosaurs existed at the same time?
Yes, and we got proof of that.
What is the proof?
Some of the proof is the fact is you have ancient art, what was it, calligraphy, that's on rocks and certain things that actually shows that dinosaurs and human beings were at the exact same time. So how would they know to paint those type of pictures, carve those type of pictures in, you know, and those are thousands of years old.
So you think humans and dinosaurs existed at the same time?
Yeah.
And who are you going to be voting for this year?
I'm voting for Trump.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Good morning, everybody. 11:21 a.m. here in the old Pacific time zone. Let's see here. Am I coming in? Good morning. All right, sounds like I am. Thank you so much for being here. It's currently 69 degrees already here at 11:40. Daytime high 74. Beautiful, lovely, luscious degrees. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Who gives a fuck about global warming? Who gives a fuck? It's a beautiful day. Live for today. Fuck tomorrow. It's gorgeous. And no, I don't want your snow back east, okay? Starting off on a good note. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I see Paul Burrows is here. Nanner. Sandy Foltz is here, or was here. These are some old posts. Yeah, there's Sandy. Danny Pomeroy says, I'm picking Seahawks to put Alex' number on their Super Bowl jerseys, considering he's from Green Bay North. U.S. division, but how much damage can ICE do with whatever that is, $1 billion in no border bill? Did they get it? Did they get it passed? I haven't been paying attention. I just woke up. That's why it was a short intro. Thank you, Aaron, with the thumbs ups. I just, I was working. I got up kind of late. I put together just a quick little intro. It was very Mamdani heavy, and I thought that was just a cute way of showing the humor of the man. And mark my words, I think that someday there will be a constitutional amendment that will allow a non-born citizen to become president someday, and it's going to be because of Mamdani. Mark my fucking words. Anyhow, so I'm just popping in here real quick. I made some coffee. I'm still sipping it. I wolfed down some Eggo waffles and a Jimmy Dean sausage and egg sandwich while that was running. And I'm good to go. Breakfast of Champions. Right? Am I right? Breakfast of Champions. Eggo waffles, Jimmy Dean sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, and some store brand generic Albertsons Colombian, 100% Colombian coffee. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, let's see. I didn't get too many memes, but I did find this one today. Let's put this up. Philadelphia just drew a hard line on ICE. They have introduced legislation to rein in ICE. And this is very similar to what Democrats are proposing in the House. So maybe that's too late. I mean, this is what I was reading yesterday about the House, about the U.S. House. This is state here or whatever. But what they're asking for, and it is very similar to this here. But for Republicans, no, it was just a bridge too far. It's radical. They want to call you a radical, a liberal. It was a bridge too far for these motherfucking Republicans. These fucking Nazi Gestapo motherfucking Republicans. It's too radical to ask that agents don't wear masks, that they show ID. This is the Philadelphia one, that they get judicial warrants only, not just these little made up warrants that they make up. If they assault a bystander, they get arrested. This is the Philadelphia one. The one that the U.S. House reps are wanting it's a much more lengthy list, but it's basically what Democrats are asking is basically that ICE just operate the way they are supposed to operate and the way they pretty much have been operating prior to Trump. Just to be professional, act like fucking professionals, and to work within the law, to adhere to due process. That's all they're asking, but that's radical, according to these fucking Republicans. According to, was it Peter Thune or Toon? However the fuck you say your stupid name. That's radical. The Democrats are radical, extremists. Fuck you. Fuck you, Peter Toon. Your bullshit. Anyhow, back to the chat. Vasantha is here. Elf. Good to see you. Vasantha Elf. Vasantha. Sounds like Santa's elf. Vasantha Elf. A play on words. It's a play on words. Mr. Spock is here. So live long, prosper. Believe me, I'm doing it exactly right. It's not being covered up by that thing. Victor Harshman's here. Says, morning, going to bounce between Brian's show and yours. Well, thank you. And I am wearing, quite proudly, a Blunt Politics t-shirt, just so lest anyone think there's any hard feelings or whatever. It is what it is. We go on when we go on. What can I tell you? We all do. We all have our little time slots, or time that we can do these shows. This is when I pretty much have my time, because after this I'm going to go to work. driving that cab. So yeah, it is what it is. And I really do like the shows that my little I don't know, network of shows that I watch on YouTube. I really like them. And it would be cool if we did have like a network kind of thing. But here's who I watch besides myself. Of course, Hal Sparks, of course. Boston Brian whenever I can, usually on a replay because we're on at the same time. But I watch a lot of Brian stuff. I watch, of course, Liberal Dan, best show on the internet, by the way, best show. So there's Liberal Dan. I watch Ojeda, Riverboat Jack, who does these marathon shows. She's like 7-8 hours. Political Punk. I've been watching a lot lately, the last few weeks. I really like Political Punk. Let's see, who else should be in my little network here that I watch that I really like. There was one more. Tara Devlin. Tara Devlin should be in our network. Really like her show. That should be we should make a little network. And I do believe that Liberal Dan tried to do that at one point. I think he was trying to do something like that, and it's again, it's like herding cats, people. It's like herding cats, man. You ever try to herd cats? You might be able to herd one cat. Anything more than one, and you're asking for trouble. Yeah, that's my little network. I don't know, and I think it's a great network. I guess we could maybe put Tennessee Brando in there. Although I usually just watch him whenever he pops up on my feed and stuff. But I like him too. That would be a pretty good little network of left-leaning, liberal, progressives, whatever you want to call it. John Glad's here. Always glad to see John Glad. DPD 5844 is here. Hello, DPD. Aaron. Hello, Aaron. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you for watching my back so I don't get attacked. Josh C is always good to see Josh C's in the driver's lounge. I know Sandy's very happy. DPD says he would certainly have my vote for president. Talking about Mamdani. Have you ever seen someone like that? I mean, he's wonderful. He's a wonderful human being. He's a great human being. And I think he's doing a great job in New York already. William is here. Hello, William. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Oh, thanks for popping on in. DPD says, Lord have mercy. I bet he thinks the earth is flat. Oh, yeah. And then the intro. Yeah, that's the Trump voters. That's your Trump voter. Right there. That's why I put him in there. That's your Trump voter. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. Victor Harshman says MTN had a good interview from an Epstein survivor today. I didn't see that. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to look for that. And I was just thinking last night when I was driving and thinking about all this Trump, all the Epstein file shit, and just thinking how I don't know if remarkable and amazing are the right words, because those sound like positive words. I don't mean this as a positive, but it's amazing to me how Trump could be our president. I mean, it wasn't enough that he told us what he's like in that Access Hollywood video on the bus with Billy Bush. How he just goes up and, hey, when you're a celebrity, you can just go right up and grab women by the pussy. That's what he said. And then you saw Republican women wearing shirts that said, he can grab me by the pussy. That's how they took it. And that's they wore it, literally wore it, maybe not on their sleeves, but they wore it on their stomachs or on their fronts. And now we have this guy, and more of this stuff is coming out where we're finding out he is way more horrible than I think we ever thought that he was. And it's just hard to believe that. I mean, basically what we have in the White House is someone who's like a psycho, like a, well, I've always said he's a psycho, but almost like a serial killer type of thing. Now I don't know. People talking about there's things about killing kids and stuff like that, and I don't know. I haven't actually seen these posts or these Epstein things, but we need to get that all cleared up. Did he kill people? Did he order people being killed? That's the stuff that should be first and foremost in the stories. Why is that shit getting buried? If Donald Trump was killing kids or killing people or having them killed to shut them up or to threaten them so he could get sex from them, so he could rape them, that should be the number one headline every single fucking day, all bold. We have this fucking serial killer, not just a serial rapist, but I think he's a serial killer now. And that's crazy to think that that's our president. Talk about Lord have mercy. Please, Lord have mercy on us for having such a horrible, evil man. You know, no president has been perfect. Even George Washington, he had slaves, so that's number one check against him. And you know, I'm willing to give him somewhat of a pass because of the time and you know how they were Americans were evolving and getting out of being a slave nation, I think, and they're you know. So I've given George Washington a little bit of a pass over the years, I guess, but he certainly wasn't perfect. Abraham Lincoln, I'm sure, wasn't perfect. You can find something in his closet, but you know what? We don't we don't need perfection. We just need good. We just need people being good and trying to be good and trying to do the right thing. And I think we've had a lot of presidents that were trying to do the right thing. It was trying to do what was best for the country. I think we've had a lot of presidents that put country over greed. But not this president. This president is all about himself and satisfying his own pleasures, and these are evil pleasures. Hey, I'm all for having sex. I think sex is great. And that's what you want to do, fine. But raping is not sex. And if he's responsible for murdering people, well, you know, that's a whole different thing. But it's just amazing that we have this fucker in the White House, and all of them, that whole administration, they're all corrupt and they're all evil, and they're all despicable. And it's just, I guess the only solace I have is that this will not hold up. It cannot hold up. It will collapse on itself. This administration, and I think by extension the party. I just hope by further extension, not the entire country, but this administration and this form of government that they're trying to put in is not going to last. But the sad thing about it is that how long is it going to take? Because every day that we go further and further with this administration, people are getting hurt unnecessarily. People are going to die at the hands of ICE, for instance. And that's why we need to stop this as soon as possible. And I think our nearest shot at it is of stopping them is the midterm congressional elections in November. And then whatever else we can do in the meantime, protesting, with general strikes, anything like that we need to just go full bore on that. William says Nobel Prize for the people of Minnesota. Absolutely, they should give the people of Minnesota a Nobel Peace Prize. Let's see. This must be when I after the intro right here. I'm saying good morning. Danny Parmo says it was passed in the first holdout. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about new money. They're trying to get more money, and now, yeah. Don't give me ancient history. I need new history. William says I was watching that idiot Michael Franzese. I don't know. On YouTube, he did an everyone but Trump video on the Epstein thing. I don't even know who Michael Franzese is. He's not in my network, apparently. He's not in my network of YouTubers that I watch. William says, I'm from Philly and we won't take ice shit. Just bring your batteries and start flinging batteries at them like you did at Eagles games to opposing players. Anyhow, Josh sees because they're scared, TJ. That's why they wear masks. I'm not questioning why they wear the masks. I'm saying it's illegal. That should be illegal. Unless there's a pandemic going on, that's really the only reason why anyone should be wearing masks. I mean, not the only reason. Don't tell me, oh, there's the blah, blah, blah. But you know what I mean. I'm talking about law enforcement. They should only be wearing masks if there's a fucking pandemic, an airborne pandemic going on. Is about the only reason, right? In their everydays, you know, don't give me some weird hypothetical. DPD says it should be noted that here in Minnesota they have pop-up checkpoints where they are running people's license plate numbers and they are wearing glasses that can run facial recognition to deem you an enemy of the state. Yeah, this is all very, very police state. This is very, very, communist nation, Russia bullshit. And I don't think we're gonna as a nation, we're not gonna put up with that. Sandy Full says, TJ, the video you made of you in the orange shirt in the dark and someone had a knife through the door, that was Trump. Yeah, that must have been Trump, yeah. Maybe. Luck Dragon says, hope I'm not interrupting. Oh boy. Dana Parmeray says, yes, it's 100% political theater to feed his MAGA base with 2 Americans killed in plain sight. White Americans has shifted Trump under the Constitution. He's failed and is failing utterly. Josh sees I missed Dan last night because I was helping a friend move. That's no excuse, man. That's no excuse. Tell your friend they can move the next day. Or you could always have it be, you could play it, you could have it being, in the background as you're moving. Park City Powder's here. Hey, Park City Powder. Good to see you. Says, hey, Trucker John. Just curious, are you going to watch Bad Bunny in the halftime show? And also, do you think he will make political statement at the Super Bowl? Well, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl. I usually watch the Super Bowl almost every year. Now, back in the day, I think I've watched almost every single Super Bowl. And back in the day, the halftime shows were the time when you would get up, go take a leak, go in the yard and toss a football around, get the blood flowing a little bit, or maybe shoot some hoops or something. And then you would go back into the kitchen, reload your plate full of food and grab another beer and get ready for the second half. So to me, I've never really cared about the halftime shows. Now, there was some time, I remember when Michael Jackson did it, that seemed to be a really, really big deal. It was to get back Michael Jackson. And I really didn't give a fuck, to tell the truth, because I don't like pedophiles. Maybe you guys do. Maybe, or Michael Jackson fans, you like pedophiles, I guess. I don't know. I never really cared about it, but I remember that seemed to be like one of the first ones where they really tried to get a really big, huge star or whatever. And then before that, they had stars too. But anyhow, then it seemed like everyone cares about the halftime show. I really don't care. Even when Bruce Springsteen, I'm wearing the hat. One of my favorite all time performers, and I love Bruce Springsteen. Even when Bruce performed, I mean, yeah, I watched it, but it's like I don't sit around thinking about who's on the halftime show. You know, it's not that important to me. Just like the commercials, everyone's like, I watch the commercials. I don't give a fuck about the commercials. I don't give a fuck about the commercials. The halftime show is fine. That's great. I watch them now. I mean, it seems like I watch them now more lately than before. I don't go out and play football and shit like that. Yeah, I'll watch Bad Bunny, of course. I'm going to watch Green Day too. I guess they stuck Green Day in there for some reason. Yeah, I'm going to watch it, of course. But I'm there to watch the football. I want to watch the game. And I think more and more over the years, like the game is getting interfered with all this thing about the halftime show. And I think they've even expanded halftime a little bit by a few minutes. They give them more time and shit to set up their elaborate stages. I don't give a shit about any of that. I wish they would just concentrate on football and playing more football and less goddamn halftime show. I don't give a fucking shit about the halftime shows, any of them, whether it's Bad Bunny or Bruce Springsteen. And I love Bruce Springsteen. I don't give a shit. Make it just a standard 15-minute halftime, and let's get to playing some fucking football. Or 20 minutes, or whatever it is, the standard thing. I don't give a shit about your halftime show, and I don't give a shit about your commercials. That they pay what I don't know how many millions of dollars is up to for a 30-second spot. I don't give a shit. I don't watch the Super Bowl for any of that shit. I watch it for the football. Do I think Bad Bunny will make a political statement? I don't think he will. I think he's just going to come out, sing his songs, and go. Why would he? I mean, maybe he'll just say "ice out" again or something. I don't know. Maybe he'll. But who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I'm there. I'm there to watch the football, and if he makes a political statement, fine. I'm not going to be mad about it. But I don't give a shit about it. You want to know the truth? DPD says, my husband says Minnesota is a testing ground for more to come, particularly during the midterms. Steve Bannon says that they should have ICE agents at all of the polling stations, I guess. What could go wrong there? They've already just killed two people who were doing nothing more than exercising their First Amendment rights. They killed them in broad daylight, right in front of everybody, with no repercussions. So what could possibly go wrong? Posting ICE agents at polling stations. I can't imagine what could go wrong. Luck Dragon says, I consider myself a good judge of character. That's why I watch your show, Trucker. But that's also why I think Mark Kelly could get the highest win in any presidential election. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. That's why we have a primary process. Let's see how it plays out. You never know. I never thought Joe Biden was going to be the one that came out on top, at least at the beginning of the primary process. And of course, he started winning, and everyone else started dropping out. It became very apparent. But at first, I didn't think he had a chance. Mad Mac, Slava Ukraini. Absolutely. Josh Sees says, Trump is the poop president. William says, I can't root for New England. The owner gave over $1 million to the Trump campaign. I'm not really rooting for either team. I don't like either team. And yeah, I think Robert Kraft is a piece of shit. So there's that. Anna Moore's here. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Anna says, hello, TJ and fellow loungers. Let's be patient with these lost souls that are MAGA. They are delusional and keep blaming Biden and not the elephant in the room for the demise of this administration. I know, I am patient with them because many of them are my family members and that I still love, you know, and I'm going to continue to love them no matter what anyone tries to tell me to do otherwise. DPD says the darkest of the dark of triads, and yes, he did it. These people are the lowest of the low, and there is nothing that they are not capable of doing to satisfy their own bloodlust. It's just the more you hear about these things that they supposedly did. I mean, it doesn't get any grimmer than that. It doesn't get any darker and grimmer than any, slasher movie you've seen. I mean, this needs to be front and center. I know they're releasing the Epstein files, but I still want to put my little sign out just to keep the issue like front and center of not only releasing the Epstein files, but getting the people that need to be unredacted. The people who were fucking committing these fucking atrocities, they need to be unredacted. So that's why I'm going to put that sign up, because that should be there too. Release them, and release them the right way, the correct way, the way you were instructed to do in the law that Trump signed into law. DPD says Rick Boy Todd Blanche admitted on television that there were tapes of murders. Oh, yes, but nothing to see here, folks. Yes, I saw that too. They said there are tapes of people being murdered. Do they show who did the murdering? I don't want to see the actual murder. I want to know who did the murdering. Let's get those motherfuckers out. And at whose behest? I mean, it's kind of like when the Godfather orders a hit. Not only is the hitman guilty of murder, but the Godfather's guilty of it also. Barbara Nicholas, Trucker, just look at that. Look how he's blowing up those boats without knowing if they're carrying drugs. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I think at last count, over 150 people were blown to bits. And he didn't give a shit. And he talk about bloodlust. This is part of his bloodlust. He loves all this shit. This man is sick and crazed. And he's our fucking president. But if there are photos and videos of, especially of children being tortured, that's what Blanche said. There are videos of people being, I think he said children. I don't think he said people. I think he did say children being tortured and murdered. If there's videos of that, that needs to be released, or at least, we don't need all the bloody details, but enough so that we know who was doing the murdering and torturing. And why aren't those, and if they've had that, why aren't those people not being charged? If they have evidence of someone torturing and murdering a child or even an adult for that matter, why are they not charging the motherfucker? Or fuckers? Anymore, Trump is suing everyone. Can we sue Trump? I think you can sue Trump. I know they try to say he's got immunity and all that bullshit, but fuck that. Let's take it to court. Take him to court, man. Animal says, I'm with you, William. I'm in New Jersey and I'm not taking ice shit either. Or neither. Just be careful. Those fuckers, they shoot people. So I'm just saying, be careful. I'm not saying take shit or whatever and not protest or whatever, but just be careful because these motherfuckers will shoot you and then laugh about it and brag about it and with no repercussions whatsoever. I mean, it's coming right straight from the White House that these motherfuckers have complete immunity, and that's from J.D. Vance, who's part of the White House. So just be careful out there. Josh C. says, theoretically, Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS would cost every man, woman, and child $28. I suppose there's a lot of maggots out there who go, hell, I'll pay twice. I don't care. I mean, the liberal dance song that keeps coming into my head, popping into my head is if what is it? If Biden had done it, I mean, you remember Comer, not Comey, but Comer, and all of his legislative hearings on Biden, on the Biden crime family. And Hunter Biden supposedly went to China, and supposedly they got $3 million or some bullshit. It was all bullshit. And they went on and on and on and on about that for months and months and months, and acted like that was the biggest crime of the century. Joe Biden was the big guy, and he was the head of the family. Again, it's projection. It's all projection, and these accusations are confessions. Here we have Donald Trump just grifting in plain sight, and no one says hardly a peep. Not a fucking peep. Certainly not out of the Republicans. That Trump is actively, in front of everyone, trying to steal $10 billion from the American people. He wants to sue the IRS for $10 billion. And why would he have to offer or take any counter offer? He's got them all in his pocket. Pam Bondi will do anything he says. She's not going to say, would you take $2 billion? No, she's going to go, how would you like that? In big bills or little bills, sir? He's going to rip the American people off for $10 billion. $10 billion. And I don't see James Comer saying a goddamn thing. Do you? Mum's the word. That's why these motherfuckers are all these Republicans are all shitbags. They're not at all serious about their jobs. They're not serious about democracy, the Constitution, about what's good for the country, good for the people. None of that shit. They don't give a shit about any of that. It's all about protecting the president, going along with whatever he says so that they can keep their little bit of whatever power they have. It's disgusting. And you all need to stop voting for Republicans, all you people who are voting for Republicans. If that doesn't wake you up to what they're doing, how they're grifting and conning, and they don't give a shit about you, then nothing will. Nothing will. There's Liberal Dan. Hey, Liberal Dan, thanks for coming on in. I didn't even know you were there. Thanks for being here. Liberal Dan, you guys, is part of my network, my little imaginary network. And thanks for being here. Best show on the radio, Liberal Dan Radio. If you guys check them out, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Time, right here on YouTube. And he's on Twitch, I believe, also. But check him out, man. If you want a really good show, go over there. Josh says, I don't want your excuses, man. Josh says, TJ, he works for Acted Left. I don't even know what that is. So he didn't want to listen to politics. We listen to music. I don't want to hear your sorry ass excuses, Josh sees. I'm just kidding. Serena Monkey. Hey, Serena Monkey's here. Hello, Serena. How drunk are you, approximately? How many sheets to the wind are you at present time? Serena Monkey says, wow, a bit of a statement, TJ. I don't even know what statement I made now. DPD says Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, is in the Epstein files, and he is a Nazi sycophant for the orange pedophile. MJ Daniel, I use the commercials and halftime to go to the can and get food. Yeah, me too. Look, Dragon says, I think Bad Bunny's going to have some guest stars come out on stage. They might say something political, but he probably won't. And if he does, it will be Spanish. I don't give a shit. Like I said, I mean, fine. If he wants to say something political, fine. But who gives a fuck? It should be about football. Football first. But if he makes it, I'm not opposed to him making a political statement. You know, that's it. I don't even know why. Why you would ask me that. But, DPD says, I hope Bad Bunny wears a red gown. I love a man who can pull off a red gown. MJ Daniel from up there, Washington State, says, every shitty thing this administration does is a test case for further violations of the law and the Constitution. Liberal Dan says, I still can't believe I didn't come up with that shart of the deal joke in my list of jokes. Yeah, I saw that. Who posted that? I saw that, and it was quite funny. The shart of the deal. The shart of the deal. Was that Josh or somebody? I don't know. Sunnyfold says, TJ, why do you keep on saying that Trump had killed someone and he had raped someone? He never did so. Well, that's why I want them to release the Epstein files with the Trump parts. He's in it over 38,000 times. His name is listed in the Epstein files over 38,000 times, and yet we seem to hardly get any of that. They don't hesitate in releasing a photo of Bill Clinton in a jacuzzi, I guess. Was that with Epstein? They put that out on day one. But all the other 38,000 stuff with Trump in it, we've hardly seen any of it. So that's why we need this to be front and center story. Belfast Bob is here. Hey, Belfast Bob, all the way from Ireland. He's from Ireland. That's the Ireland place over there with the leprechauns. Belfast Bob, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. MJ Daniel says this is 2026 and there are no excuses for continuing to support this. I'm pretty much out of patience or forgiveness. I'm still going to love my family, though. So no matter what you say. Yeah, well, you guys can go hate your families. Josh says, Bob says, forgiveness, no forgiveness to triple Trumpers, all this kind of shit. Well, fine. Now, I'm not saying I'm talking to my family members. I'm not really talking to them, but I still love them. And I will forgive them at some point. And I think I already have. It's at least some of them. Josh C says, Sandy, notice how Trump isn't suing anyone over the accusations because of a thing called discovery. Yeah, Trump. All Trump wants to do, if the subject even comes close to being mentioned, is he wants to move on and change the subject. Like when Caitlin Collins was asking him questions the other day, and he said, "Oh, I think the American people are tired of talking about this. Let's talk about this health care." Okay. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it for some reason, for some odd reason. I don't know what slant day means. You guys are talking in code, you and Mad Mac and Belfast Bob. It probably means salutations, my good friend. Something like that. I don't know. MJ Daniel says we need to start framing the whole Epstein Maxwell thing, or ting. They might say that in Ireland. They might say ting instead of thing in Ireland. I think they might say ting. In the terms of national security, and ask just how long Putin and others have had this information and how compromised are they. And you guys have heard about France and I think some other countries. They're doing their own Epstein file investigations, and they're not going to hold back on whatever they find. They're gonna whatever they find on Trump, they're gonna put it out. So it'll be interesting to see what they have and what they can find. MJ Daniel says, as president, you may not be able to sue him, but you sure as fuck can sue his family and his businesses. Sandy says, if you don't care which team wins, you don't care to watch the halftime show, then what's the sense in watching? Because I like football and I've watched the entire season, and this is the culmination of the season. So I like watching the Super Bowl. The Rams are my favorite team, and they've only been in the Super Bowl a handful of times. So there's been many, many, many times where I've had to watch the Super Bowl without my favorite team being in it. But I still watched it because I enjoy football, and like I say, this is the culmination of the season, and I usually watch lots of games during the season, and so this is the natural progression of it, and to see the outcome, There you go, Liberal Dan. Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it. Everyone, check out Liberal Dan on Spotify. Liberal Dan has some great songs on there, great songs that he's made, parodies and political leaning type songs. Really great music. Go to Spotify. I think you can just look up Liberal Dan on Spotify and play those songs and share those songs out. DPD says, did anyone see that Eric Cokehead Don Jr. and Ivana were all present when the orange pedophile assaulted a child? The entire family is twisted. I haven't seen it. I think I heard Political Punk bringing it up, or someone bringing it up. I have not actually seen it myself. But we need to get these things out. And I'm going to try to find more and maybe post that shit too, you know? Yeah, Victor Harshman with the more on the Biden crime family. Biden loaned his brother money to buy a truck. Oh my God, yeah. That was the Biden crime family. They did shit that families do. You know, they loan each other money. They help each other out from time to time. And that was enough for Republicans to run with their hair on fire and call and come up with the Biden crime family and all that shit. Meanwhile, what has Trump done over and over and over again? The grifting. You know, just going back to his first term, you know, all of the overcharging, overbilling that they at all of his properties that he would go to, and he would bring this all the big Secret Service there with him, and put them in rooms there, and just overbill it and overcharging for the tune of millions and millions and millions of dollars. And yet Biden is the crime lord here. Hey, 007 Kevin Trollslayer's here. Hello, 007 Kevin. Thanks for popping on in. I do appreciate you. DPD says, imagine people are upset about immigrants taking their shit, but this orange pedophile motherfucker can rob the country blind and not a whisper, not even a peep. What the fuck? Exactly, DPD. Donald Trump has ripped off the American people for probably hundreds of millions of dollars at this point. And now he's going for billions. He wants to get that $10 billion settlement or whatever. And yeah, barely a peep. You know? But God forbid Joe Biden lend his brother some money, you know? Which his brother, and I believe his brother paid it back. And I don't think it was just for a truck. I think he lent him a kind of a substantial amount. I think it was to get a house or do something like that. You know, big deal. You know, that's their private money. That's our private business. That was not money. That was not taxpayer money, by the way. You know. Barbara Nicholas is here. Hey, Barbara, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Barbara says that the only thing that Taco cares about is money. Money, 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 money. Yep. Money and his own pleasure, you know. I think I need to move this sign or something because it's blocking my beautiful face, man. I don't know. Now it's out of. Maybe I just need to move over a little bit. I don't know. Which way should I go? This way? No. Oh, that's the wrong way. This way. Yeah. How's that? Perfect. Anyhow. Blood Dragon says people need to stop thinking about the Treasury as a bank question mark. Wait, as a. Why are you spelling? Now instead of putting question marks in, you're just spelling question mark. It is our money. If anything, give the $10 billion back to us as charity. He said that's what he said he would do with the money. Trump said that he would donate the money to charity. To which I think anyone with half a brain or half a brain cell would go, oh yeah, we've seen how that goes. The Trump family has been banned from operating any charities, I think in all of New York State. because they're fucking grifters. They steal from charities that they run. So I could just imagine how that would go. Yeah, I'm going to donate it to charity. I'm not going to touch any of it. No, I won't. Yeah, right. Um, Anna Moore says that the Clintons are going to testify at the Epstein investigation, but they want it to be public. I wonder how the cartoon president is going to handle that. Well, are they going to let him do it? Because they said they will testify, but only if it's public. I think here we are back with Comer again. I think is heading this one up, and Comer wants to do it behind closed doors. He wants to have a private hearing. That even makes sense. And the Clintons are like, no, we're not going to do that. Just so you can leak certain things out of context, and you can leak shit that makes us look bad. No, we're going to do this out in public. We will be more than happy to come down there to a public hearing where everyone can see what's going on, but we're not going to do this behind closed doors. And that's the last I've heard of it. The Republicans do not want this out in the open. They do not want the public to see and hear anyone that might go against their narrative, the Republican narrative, that Trump did nothing and people like Bill Clinton were the ones actually doing all the shit. Yeah, NJ Daniel says the Republicans don't want the Clintons to testify publicly, which tells me all I need to know. Exactly. I'm not going to get into an argument, Mad Mac, about soccer versus football. You can like soccer all you want. I'm not going to yuck your yum. You can be the biggest soccer fan you want, and congratulations. And I'm glad you have something that you like. It's something that brings you pleasure. I'm happy for you. That's all. But that's really what that's about. Brooklyn, hey, Brooklyn SJU. Where you been, Brooklyn? Hey, Brooklyn, how you doing? Brooklyn says, hi all. Just saying hi if I have too much anxiety to listen to the news, but I wanted to say howdy. Well, thanks for coming in and saying hi. I do appreciate you. And I know this is a high anxiety time. And we have to try to do things to take our anxiety down a level or two, I think, Sandy Foltz says, yesterday I was waiting for a package to come from Amazon. A package came, but it was not mine. That one had belonged to the lady next door. My package never showed up, but then the tenant upstairs opened it and ended up giving it to me. Wow. Well, that was nice of her, I guess. I don't know what it was, but I hope it was something nice. DPD says it's pathetic to think that other countries care about protecting children, but America is supposed to be the beacon of hope, but you can't or won't protect the most vulnerable. Oh, that word sainte or whatever they were saying, Belfast Bob says, it means good health, TJ. Good health to you. Sandy Foltz, how many rides did you get this week? So far, I'm only at, let's see, I believe I went out, was it Monday? I got 15. And then I went out last night and got 12. So I'm at 27. Remember, my goal is 45 for the week. I'm going to go out tonight, and then I'll probably go tomorrow night. Even if I have a big night tonight and get, because what, 27, so 37, I would need, what, 18? 18 is not out of the realm of possibility, but probably won't get 18. So then I'll go out tomorrow night on Saturday, and then I'll just do whatever I do. But I'll probably get at least another 10 or 12 tomorrow night. So I'll probably go way over 45 then. So what was that? 27. Let's say tonight I do another 12. So what, 27, 37, 39, and then 49. I have a possibility of breaking 50. A very good possibility of breaking 50 this week. But as Barbara Nicholas would say, as long as I get my ass out the door and get to work. So I shouldn't count my chickens before they've hatched, because I still have to do the work today and tomorrow. But if I do the work, if I do what I normally do, on a typical shift today and tomorrow, and I think I have a really good shot at breaking 50. And I didn't do a drive home video last night because I did my last ride at Mandalay Bay, which is the very south end of the strip. And then from there to drive home is really, there's nothing. I like to do it where if I'm like on the strip and I could put the camera on and we can show some of the lights and stuff like that. But so last night I decided not to do a driving back to the yard video, a live stream. But be on the lookout, because I might do a live stream as I'm going back to the yard, just for shits and giggles. That's what I call that. I call those just for shits and giggles. It's this thing that they call shits and giggles. Josh says, laughing out, and I watch funny animal videos for mental health. I love watching kitty videos. That's what gets me. The little cute, little adorable kitties and all the little funny things that kitties do. That's what I do. And it brings me much joy and warms my heart. Mad Mac, that was the theme song for the Apprentice TV show, Money, Money, Money. Money, 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 money. The one, what was that, like who did that song? Money, 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 money. Like the Four Tops or something? Sandy Foltz says this Epstein files is a bunch of bullcrap that someone had made up. It's all not true. Well, let's investigate it. Don't you think it's worthy of investigation, Sandy? There are dozens and dozens and dozens of women that have come out and said that these things happened. Should we just ignore them and tell them they're all a bunch of whatever, liars or whatever? I mean, there's lots of survivors that would say otherwise, Sandy. Anna Moore says, TJ, I'm missing your food videos. Where have you gone to get food lately? Well, yesterday I just did In-N-Out again, and I've already done at least two In-N-Out videos. So I didn't do another one. The day before that, I did go. Where did I go? Let's see. I did something. I think it was another Mexican place. I can't remember now where it was. It's funny. I go more than a couple days back in my history of my life, and I'm like, I can't remember. But yeah, yesterday I did In and Out, so I didn't, want to do another In and Out. Um, Josh C says, Sandy, if it isn't true, why isn't Trump suing? Yeah, because Trump sues at the drop of a hat, and if he thought someone was defaming him or whatever, he would sue them. But he doesn't want to sue because right, if he goes into court, then there's a thing called discovery, where all this stuff is put out into the public record, or at least court records. Might not necessarily be public, but Josh C says Hillary has 0 mentions in the Trumpstein files. You know who else has 0? Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, Trucker John. I'm not in it. See, Sandy Foltz says it's all a bunch of made up crap. And the reason that I'm rereading that is because that is the mentality of MAGA. If you were to ask anyone who is a MAGA person, that's what they will tell you. I'm not saying that Sandy's MAGA, but I'm just saying that is a great indication of what either a MAGA or someone who supports Trump, that's what they will say. That's what they say. That's what they've been saying all along. Whenever I have encountered a MAGA person, when I would talk about E. Jean Carroll and how he was found, guilty in that sexual assault there. When you talk about the 34 felony convictions for fraud, they always say that's made up, or that those were tainted jury in the E. Jean Carroll case, or the judge was bought off, or that the judge was a lefty, or the 34 counts, that was just the weaponization of the DOJ by Biden. That's what they say. That's what they will say. That's what that's what they're going to say right now. It's going to what Sandy posted is exactly what Trump supporters are going to say. That it's all a bunch of made up crap. That's why we, I guess, quite frankly, just have to ignore them and press on and make sure that these are adjudicated. DPD, you'll get it, TJ. I have faith in you. I guess about maybe the 45 trips or something. Sunnyfold says TJ needs to learn to let some matters go. Why is he so worried about crap like that? Well, I let a lot of things go, but I don't think this is just some trivial little thing. This is the president of the United States who was involved in some really horrible shit that should land him in prison, or in some countries, and sometimes in our country would have got him the death penalty probably if he's guilty of some of these things. But certainly he should not be in the White House. So this is pretty important. This isn't just little crap. This is important shit, Sandy. This is the leader of the free world. The most powerful, I think, and it's been said, I didn't make this up, and I agree, I think this is the most powerful position in the world, being president of the United States. And we have a guy in there who has no business being there whatsoever. Didn't have any business being there in 2016. It certainly has no business being in it now. And really, the only place he should be in is a federal prison. That's where he should be. So that's why it matters to me, and to probably most of the people in this chat. Sandy Phillips, no, I don't, and I don't freaking care. And Sandy, I think Sandy, I really love that Sandy is posting this because I think it gives us a little look into how a lot of people think, and how maybe more right wing people think. They really want this. They don't want to address this issue. It's too painful to admit maybe that they were wrong. I don't know who voted. I don't know about Sandy. I don't know who she voted for. I don't know anything about that. But just in general, Republicans and MAGA people, it's too hard to admit that they've been wrong. So rather than argue it, they just would wish the whole thing would go away and people would stop talking about it. But it's not going to go away, and we're not going to stop talking about it, Sandy, until Donald Trump is in prison, until all these people, Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon, all of them are in prison. Otherwise, it'll just keep happening. It won't stop. And I'm not saying it'll magically, this type of stuff will just stop if we do get these convictions and things, but at least we'll get some kind of justice for these survivors and these victims. And maybe have a chance of restoring some faith in our country by other countries who have probably lost all faith in us at this point. And that is important. I mean, we've since World War II, we have created some really strong bonds with countries all over the world, and it has helped. As many wars that we've had and things, like Afghanistan and Iran, Iraq, and all this kind of shit, it's kept us out of world wars certainly that, and it's kept us relatively, out of big wars, at least since Vietnam, and that was a whole quagmire, and that was a bunch of shit too. But just read the Pentagon Papers. But that's why it's important that we settle this, so we can try to restore some faith and at least get on the road to restoring faith. Some people say this will take decades or many, many years to restore full faith in from other countries. And that's probably true to some extent, but we can at least get on the road, on the path to restoring it, if we can bring Trump and all of his buddies, to justice. Bob Newell is here. Sup, Bob Newell? I haven't seen Bob Newell in a long time. Bob Newell says, to hack the redactions, copy the redacted document, paste the blank Word document. Yeah, I've heard about these little hacks and tricks and things. Barbara Nicholas says, Trucker John, I'm glad my words are stuck in your head, my words of wisdom. Yeah. Yeah, Barbara. Whenever it's time to go to work, your words are echoing through my noggin. Get my ass out the door. Luck Dragon, you can't ignore them, but you have to be smart enough to not give them a reason to cancel the midterms. I'm not doom glooming. I just want to win! Exclamation point. I just want to win! Something like that. Anyhow, here's a dramatic reading of Luck Dragon's post here. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, as far as like fighting back, I guess, against ICE and things of this nature. Yeah, you want to do it smart and you want to do it non-violently. I like the distinction. I was watching a video from someone, I forgot her name, but she's really good. She might be included in the network, if I ever get her name back. But she was saying how she didn't like when people talk about peacefully protesting, that it should be, the emphasis should be about non-violently protesting. But it doesn't have to be peaceful. Or, it doesn't have to be just singing Kumbaya or whatever. Although that video we had in the intro was very nice. It just shows how that video of the people singing, it showed how they are, and that is being kind of disruptive in a way, right? Because they're in the streets singing, but they did it in a non-violent and a really lovely way. But you can do things that are non-violent. It doesn't necessarily mean it's peaceful, because you don't want to be so peaceful that no one hears you. And I think that's a good distinction to make. Make sure you're non-violent. Don't give them a reason to shoot you. I'm not saying that Alex or Renee did that, but I'm just saying, don't take the bait. Don't let things escalate. That could be a rhyme somewhere. Don't take the bait. Don't let things escalate. Anyhow, I'm just working the shop. But don't take the bait. But still, that doesn't mean that we're going to just go away and not stand up to this tyranny. This is tyranny. This is a police state that's going on in Minneapolis, and they want to bring it to other places around the country, and they want to threaten our voting by saying they're going to post ICE agents or officers or whatever the fuck they are at polling stations in November. So we got to stand up to that, but also not take the bait as far as getting violent. We have to do it non-violently. Bob Newell, have you had any interesting rides recently? Probably not. Not that I can really think of. Pretty just standard stuff, which I'm completely fine with. All I want to do is crank out the rides. I don't need drama. I don't need excitement. I don't need whatever, I just want to crank out the rides. I want to get I go out there for 6 or 7 or 8 hours, and I get 10 to 15 rides, and that's really all I care about. And if I get some big tips along the way, all the better. If I am able to get someone to a strip club that pays a nice kickback, all the even more better. And if I take someone to a dispensary where they pay a nice little kickback, all the better. But that's really all I care about. I don't care about the drama or how interesting the fucking people are. Just get in, let me take you to the place and give me a nice tip. I know that probably didn't sound right, but what can I say? What can I tell you? DPD says, did you see the racist ass meme he posted about the Obamas? That was in the intro. He is trying to rile us up, African Americans go crazy so he can enact martial law. Again, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait, or else things will escalate. Don't take the bait, or it's gonna escalate. What you gonna do if it's get into a spate? I don't know. I'm workshopping it. Bob Newell, I'm running for HOA president with no ICE campaign. There you go. Ba-dum. There will be no ICE in the lobby. Vote for me for HOA president. MJ Daniel says, I do not buy for a second that DJT cared about or knew what was in those documents at Mar-a-Lago. I think he was given a list of what to look for and has been compromised for years. Oh, yeah. He's been compromised since the 80s. Probably. Who's on now? I'm just looking at my TV. I think it might have. Yeah. YouTube put me over on Boston Brian. Because I had Hal on, and then Hal rated BAM or whatever it's fucking called. And then, and I guess that show's over. So now it's going to Boston Brian. So there you go. I got Boston Brian on my TV and a Boston Brian t-shirt. Look at there. I'm not too smart, am I? Anyhow. Mr. Bob Newell, are you wearing a trucker cap? I don't know. I just call these baseball caps, but whatever. But although this is the mesh backing, so this might not be actually. This might be more of a trucker cap, I guess. MJ Daniel says relationships with other nations has helped the USA going back to the French helping us against the British. Yeah, we've needed those relationships, and it's been beneficial to both sides for the most part. Yeah. Sandy Full says everything you eat on your videos, you make me hungry. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I like In-N-Out. I'm trying to think what I had the other day. It was really good. What did I get? I don't remember if I actually went there or if I DoorDashed it. I can't remember now. Belfast Bob says Trump has destroyed what trust the rest of the world had with the U.S. Yeah, and then that's why we need to get him out so we can at least get on the path of trying to restore. Like I said, it might take decades, but we need to get at least back on the path. MJ Daniels, they cannot stop this election, but they're already trying to cheat the fuck out of it. And there was Trump said it, and I think who else was saying about nationalizing the elections? They really don't want these elections to go through. But that's why we need to make sure that we are all registered to vote, and ready to go. And we need to overwhelm the ballot box with our votes, and that makes it harder for them to cheat and to steal. DPD says this country has been built on pedophiles. Truth be told, look at how they viewed Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson. History chose to sanitize the story by claiming it was love and not about let's see, I'm trying to find about a grown-ass man child who he fucking owned as his property. Yeah, it is all sick and disgusting, and you're right. We are built on that. Slave culture and white slave owners picking out the pretty ones and fucking them, and that's rape. And rape is not sex. Rape is power trip, and it's rape. Yep. And we have sanitized it. Aaron West says Trucker John has channel memberships and super chats. Yes, I do. We're sitting at 0-5 on our goal today, so thank you very much. We have channel memberships, which are a great way of helping to support the show, starting off at $1.99 a month. And you can also help the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Right now, we only have 22 watching. I think everyone is over here at this guy's channel, which is fine. Just come on into my show later if anyone can come in later. But if you're already here, you're already here. But we are acting like good Democrats because we do have a surplus with the 27 thumbs up. So I appreciate that. You can also help support the show by buying me a coffee. There's the link to the Buy Me a Coffee link. And then further down there, a couple down, is PayPal. We have a PayPal account, and you can help support the show over there on PayPal, which is a great way to do that. Liking, subscribing, sharing. Those are free, don't cost you a dime. I understand all of us are going through financial shit now. So just liking, subscribing, sharing, hyping. If you can see the hype button, hit the hype button. And that helps build up the show. Someday we will be at 1 million subscribers. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Right now we're only at 4,330. Hey, we've been hovering around 4,329. I think we may have crossed over into the 4,330s. At this rate, I will hit 1 million by I think the year 3000. But I'm in for the long haul here. I'm gonna sneeze. I don't really have a cough button or a sneeze button, so you're just gonna have to put up with it at home. You're there at home. Belfast Bob, TJ, that was the biggest burrito I've ever. Yeah, there was that one. Yeah, I guess maybe is that the one I'm thinking of? Well, that was a few nights ago, but that, and I didn't know it was that big because I ordered that off of DoorDash. It looked like a good burrito, and I swear to God, the thing was as big as my forearm. Let me get my forearm over here. For those of you that didn't see the video, that was a huge burrito, but I did scarf it down. I did scarf that bad boy down. Sandy says, I did not vote for Trump. I voted for Harris. Well, I'm glad you voted for Harris. I really am glad to hear that. But either way, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on you or anything like that, Sandy. And like I said, I enjoy. I mean, not enjoy, but I don't know if enjoy is the right word. But I do appreciate your point of view, and because I do think it is indicative of a lot of things that I do hear from people on the right. The things that you were saying, even though you voted for Harris, the things that you were saying there in those posts, I've heard that from the right wing. Like, oh, it's just, why are we doing this? Why are we going on into this? Let's just move on. And then and then talking about the other things that's they just people don't want to admit that he's a felon and a rapist and all that kind of stuff, or an adjudicated sexual assaulter. I guess I'm supposed to say grapist. Maybe that's why all my videos keep getting demonetized. I keep forgetting to say grapist instead of the other one, the real word. Anyhow. But yeah, Sandy says it's something that needs to be dropped. People are sick of hearing it. My pastor always told me you need to let some things go. Well, your pastor, okay, well, I'm not going to make any disparaging remarks about your pastor, but this is something that really is too important to let go. This isn't, like I said earlier, this is not trivial. This is not just something that we should move on. This is something very, very, very important. MJ Daniel, BB is on. I know, I've got him on my TV right now. Don't believe me? Let's see. Man, the volume is really bad. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah, line's still going all the way up there. You can hear the horns going and shit too.
Do you hear him? There's Brian, Baston Brian. Yep, you hear him? Do you hear them? You hear that lobster? The lobster? You hear that, Brian? Yeah, he's on my TV. I got him on the TV right now. He's playing a clip from Minneapolis. Looks like. Anyhow, Luck Dragon says even Caesar himself, even Caligula wasn't this corrupt. They murdered a lot, but didn't just blatantly steal from the people. Trump thinks he's Caligula. He thinks he's Julius Caesar. That's the thing. He wants to be like Julius Caesar. He gets his fucking jollies off of hurting other people. Not only is he a sociopath, but he's a sadist. He loves inflicting pain upon others. And that's what I believe. So I don't think we can just ignore this and hope it goes away. This is really keeping Trump in power for any longer and letting him get away with it. It's really detrimental to the country, to the makeup of our country. You know? Anna Moore says, I think Trump wants to start a civil war so badly that he would post racist memes like that. He's a child that is the leader of our country. Incredibly disgusting. Yeah, he's absolutely disgusting. I agree. DPD says, Aaron, I'm not being nosy, but have you and your fiance chosen a wedding video? Okay, I'm being nosy. That's funny. Oh my gosh, Michael McAndrews. $50 super chat. Yippee to Michael. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Michael. Wow. It says I just woke up. What's happening? Is Trumpy in prison yet? Did you do that super chat? Like, were you still sleepy? Thank you, Michael. From TC, Michigan. Thank you so much, Michael. Thanks for supporting the show. I do appreciate you for doing that. I gave you a thumbs up and a heart. Bob Newell says, I would be very pissed if Diaper Don invades Iran during the first quarter of the Super Bowl. Bob Newell, always cracks me up. Yeah, I will too. I just want to watch my goddamn football. We don't need to invade anything, okay? Bob Newell, what is food refreshment plan for the big game? I really didn't plan anything. I might just order a pizza. I'll probably order something from DoorDash, maybe. I don't know. I'll have some beer. I got some beer in the fridge. I'll probably drink a couple of Modelo's. Watch Bad Bunny with my Modelo's. I'll probably wear some Rams gear just to be, festive, football festive. Oh, Alton Gillespie's here. Hey, Alton, good to see you. Alton says, howdy bravely from London, Texas. Thanks for coming on in. I appreciate you. Sandy says, it's better to discuss good stuff, not bad things about other people. Well, it's not like we're just talking about just any old person. We're talking about the President of the United States. It's a little different. This is important. Mr. Bob Newell, did you buy a whistle? I did not. Belfast Bob, I came from Boston Brian. He's still on. Yeah, I got him on my TV. There he is, right there. The Boston Brian. I'm not. I don't do a very good Boston accent. Is this? I know the O, like the Boston would be more like Baston, Baston. Park the car, Boston, Brian. I don't know how do you say Brian in Bostonese. Park the car, I don't know. Hey Brian, go park your car. Okay, that's it. No more. No more. No more Brian. No more Boston attempts at Boston accents. Park the car, Brian. Brian, park your car. I think that's Boston accent. I think that's pretty extraordinary. Michael McAndrews tops it off with a $2 super chat. Yippee! Thank you so much, Michael. Thumbs up and a heart. Says goals can be met with small steps. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Belfast Bob, cruelty is the point. Get everybody scared and compliant. All right, that's the thing. That's why totalitarian governments are always being so cruel to its citizens, is to get everyone to be so scared that they will just be compliant and they will give up hope and that's the deal, and that's what we need to fight against, but non-violently. Luck Dragon says Donald Trump should have been prosecuted for being a slumlord in the 80s and 90s. New York let him get away with it, and now look what we've got. West Side biatches. Yeah, Donald Trump should have been dealt with decades ago. I agree. And then we wouldn't be putting up with him now. Michael McAndrews, $2 super. Yippee, another $2 super chat from Michael. Thank you so much, Michael. I do appreciate you. F cruelty. And then Sandy Foltz with a truckiversary. Happy 10 months. 10 month. Sandy says, hi, Josh Babe. Josh, for those of you who don't know, is Sandy's online crush, I think we could call that. Thank you so much. Yippee to Sandy Foltz for being a member for 10 months, and I do appreciate it. We've got, I don't know, 70 or 80 members, and you guys are all in there, and you're helping support the show. And getting a membership is a great way of doing that. So I appreciate you, Sandy, and all the members. I appreciate you. Belfast Bob with a £2, I believe that's pound, super chat. Yippee to Belfast Bob from across the aisle, the green aisle. Is that what we call Ireland? Ireland, isn't it the green aisle? The Isle of Green. I don't know, but thank you, Belfast Bob, for £2. Thank you so much. Belfast Bob says another small step for mankind. Now, if we could just get those subscriptions up, that would be great. DPD says that's the problem. Too many people let it go and turn a blind eye. You're right. That kind of talking about what we were talking about, that Trump should have been dealt with decades ago. But anyhow, DPD goes on to say, when you do that, you create victims, more victims. In order to become a survivor, you must address the trauma in the first place. Log Dragon says, if Tupac, I always want to say Tupac, but I think it's Tupac, was alive, he would be blasting Donald Trump harder than Dave Chappelle blasts transsexuals. Come on, Sandy, that's funny. I don't know, but I do know the exact spot where Tupac was killed, or at least shot, because he actually died in the hospital later, because they were able to transport him to the hospital, and then he died there of his injuries. So I do know where he was shot with fatal gun wounds, I guess. And I don't remember if I did the video. I was going to do a video on it. Do you guys remember if I did a video on that? I should do a video. If I haven't, I should do it. But if I have, I guess I don't need to redo it. But anyhow, Petrazi 1920 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Petrazi. Yippee! Thank you so much. I appreciate you. One more step. There's a thumbs up and a heart for you. Thank you, Petrazi. I appreciate you. Goal achieved, it says here. Thanks to the participants. Thank you so much. Chucker John had 3. That's me. just achieved the goal. Thank you so much, guys. Couldn't do it without you. And then Michael McAndrews just sort of topping us off there with a $2 super chat. Yippee, Michael! Thank you so much. And for that, you get a heart and a thumbs up. And my most sincere appreciation of all you guys. We made the goal. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. DPD says, didn't they already deploy boots on the ground in Nigeria, or was I dreaming that? I don't know. I guess. See, there's so much stuff that happens, and then you just sort of forget about all this shit. But yeah, I think so. Sandy Foltz with a $1 super sticker. Thank you, Sandy. Yippee, going out to Sandy. And I always get a thumbs up and a heart, so thank you so much. Mr. Baldwin, what's your best impersonation? I don't know. I do know what love is, Jenny. That might be maybe my favorite. In case you didn't know, that was whatchamacallit? Forrest Gump, for God's sakes. I do know what love is, Jenny. I don't know. Belfast Bob, you got it there, TJ. Pure Boston. Park the car, Brian. Brian, park your car. That's it. Yeah, I nailed it. Nailed it. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Sandy Fold says, I know you would not like it if Trump talked crap about you. Well, look, Sandy, that's not how it works. I mean, Trump has it coming. Let's put it that way. Go talk to the dozens of survivors of Trump's SA and grapes. And I don't mean grapes. At this point, I guess it's too late to try to. I can just say the word rape, I guess. I don't know. But go talk to them about that. It's not about him talking crap about me and me not liking it. And I guess that would make me a hypocrite because I wouldn't like if Trump talked crap about me. Well, boo fuckity who if I don't like it. Boo fuckity who on me. I'm boo fucking myself. It's a little bit bigger than that. This is some serious shit. We're really in the overall picture of the Epstein Island and all the stuff that Jeffrey Epstein was doing, all the trafficking that he was doing, human trafficking. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of victims. It looks like tens of thousands of victims. I keep moving. Tens of thousands, probably at this point, many thousands of victims. It's about them. This isn't about I would be upset if Trump was talking shit about me. Fuck me, please. No, it's about these victims that have been horribly and survivors we have survivors and we have people who didn't survive apparently, and it's about them and about getting justice for them. Okay, this isn't about like, I would be a hypocrite because I would be upset if Trump talked shit about me. Oh, is Brian off now? I guess Brian parked his car, and now the I had it ladies are on. I guess Brian's over there parking his car in Boston. Anyhow, but it's not that's not what it's about, Sandy. It's about finding justice for these victims and survivors, and also about hopefully trying to stop these things in the future from happening. If these people keep going on year after year, decade after decade of getting away with it, then what's to stop them from them and from other people coming up and doing the same thing. But maybe if we could actually put some of these people in prison, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years. I think Epstein was sentenced to 20 years or something. If we could start getting serious convictions where people are being put in prison for decades and really exposing what was going on, then maybe, just maybe, that will maybe prevent some of this stuff from happening in the future. I don't know. One can hope, can't one? Anymore, you reached your goal. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much. Oh, DBD, I think it's called Isle of Emerald. That's what it is. I just call it Green Island. In the American version. That's the Green Island. Yes, the Emerald Isle. Belfast Bob, you're from the Emerald Isle. There you go, Emerald Isle, yes. Josh C says, now I'm laughing my ass off imagining Trump trying to talk shit about TJ. He wasn't a very good truck driver. He would drive all day, and he wouldn't even do this with the horn. Sometimes he would go days without blowing his horn. That's probably what he would say. I don't know. Bob Newell says the Urban Dictionary describes the Melania as the ultimate street gal. Mad Max says TJ does a pretty good Elvis. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Ninja Run, Forrest, Run. That's not Forrest Gump, though. That's Jenny. Jenny. DPD, I still have never seen Forrest Gump, although I did eat at Bubba Gump's. Why would you not see Forrest Gump? It's a great fucking movie. I love Forrest Gump. I love the movie Forrest Gump. I love it. I love it. But I'm not going to marry it. Sandy Foltz says, I'm going to wear Josh Allen jersey. I bought a bunch of snacks for the Super Bowl. There you go. See, getting into it. Have a good time. Just have a good time. Watch the game. If you like the commercials, fine. Watch the commercials. If you like the halftime show, watch the halftime show. The important thing when we're doing stuff like that, it's about having fun. And we all need to take some time off from all this shit. Otherwise, I think we'll go completely fucking crazy. I'm not saying ignore the shit, but we need to take little breaks from it. And for me, for others, it's going to be Super Bowl Sunday. You know what I mean? And maybe that's why people will get upset if Bad Bunny said something political, because people are like, dude, I just want to take a break from it. But I don't care. It is a huge platform. Like billions of people will be watching all around the world. So it is tempting to use that platform to make some sort of political thing. And maybe this is the time when it should be done, because this is a very important thing about treating people humanely, and how America was supposed to be the shining beacon on a hill, or whatever the fuck it was, the beacon, the shining lights on the hill, and la-di-la-di-da. We're supposed to be all that shit, but it doesn't appear so right now that we are that. So maybe saying something at the Super Bowl wouldn't be such a bad idea, but Damon Dog is here. Boston Brian Raid. Hey, thank you, Damon Dog, for coming on over from. You mean this guy? This guy? Thank you, Damon Dog. I appreciate you. Damon Dog, the big dog, coming over from Boston, Brian. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, guys, if you haven't already. Josh sees. Can you do Tough Cookie as Trump discussing Trucker John? That'd be award worthy. I don't know. We could just see if we could just ask Tough Cookie to do that. Why should I do Tough Cookie when Tough Cookie is sitting right next to me? We could ask Tough Cookie. Tough Cookie, can you do Trump dissing me? That's the question that Josh is asking you, Tough Cookie. Tough Cookie doesn't want to come over. He was actually kind of napping. What? What do you want, Josh? God, Lonnie Anderson was just giving me a back rub in my dreams. The late great, rest in peace. What was that? Something about Trump? Can I do Trump? I wouldn't do Trump with your poll, Josh. I wouldn't do Trump if he was the last stinky hole on the planet. But here, let's give it a shot. I'm a gamer. I'm a trooper. Okay, so let's see. Here's my impression of Trump dissing Trucker John. Let's see, it'd be like, hey, he was that Trucker John. He would never drive a full shift. He was so lazy. He would do 10 hours and 59 minutes. Yeah. Okay, and scene. I'm done. I'm out. I don't think I've never even, full disclosure, I've never even tried to do Trump before. Hey, beard guy, can you do Trump? Tough Cookie, I think everyone can do Trump. Everyone has a Trump impersonation in their back pocket, right? We've all got it. So I think if Trump was going to diss, as Josh says, Trucker John, he might say something like, he drives that Freightliner. It's but I like to call it a freight shaker. What? He was driving for Swift? Oh boy, watch out. Those Swift drivers. I don't know. I don't know. I got to work on it, guys. You just sort of threw me into it. I got to work on it. I'm also wearing my Boss O'Brien shirt also. It's funny things that we all kind of dress alike over here. But anyhow, I'm going to go practice my Trump, if you don't mind. But anyhow, by the way, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. All right. Hey, Tough Cookie and Paul the Purple Beard Guy giving it their best. They're giving it their best, the old college try there. So thank you so much for doing that. Belfast Bob, is the Super Bowl like our World Cup final? I don't know. I don't watch World Cup finals. It's just the championship of this. It's the championship game of the season. This is what everyone is playing for, is to get to the championship. This will crown the champion of the NFL. If that's what your World Cup final is about, then yes. If it's not, then no. DBD says, I guess I'm going to have to watch it one of these days. Well, I don't want to over promote it or, put it on, give it a, what do you call it? and then you'll watch it and you go, it sucks. Yeah, I don't want to put such high expectations on it, but it's a good movie. I think it won Best Picture, didn't it? I think it was up against Pulp Fiction, and Pulp Fiction is probably my favorite movie of all time. But I still love Forrest Gump. Anyhow, Belfast Bob reminding us that the Catholic Church took over 60 to 70 years to apologize, and British government 50 years, and they're still doing shit. Look, Dragon, the Bills deserve a Super Bowl. Maybe if they would have let Donald Trump buy the team, they could have rigged it. That's funny. Bob Newell, you got any De Niro in the chamber? Could be. Could be. Of course, the go-to is always like, you looking at me? You looking at me? I don't know. I don't really have a De Niro. 74 CJ, when are you going to West Virginia? I don't know. Probably never. Belfast Bob, I was Church of the Blues Brothers. Look, Dragon, I liked Boston earlier, then left to hang out with Trucker. Dog. I guess you're talking to Damon Dog. Damon Dog, the big dog. Damon Dog, the big dog. He's a big old dog in the Damon Dog land. Look, Dragon, Niagara Falls would be amazing. Have you ever been to Yosemite? I have been to Yosemite. I've never been to Niagara Falls, but I have been to Yosemite. We used to go to Yosemite all the time when I was a kid. Like almost every summer, we would go camping at Yosemite. And then I haven't been there, unfortunately, in like 20 years now. But DPD says, CJ, have you thought about going to the bar, enjoy the Super Bowl? Yeah, but I don't really care to. I see you being around like-minded footballers. I just don't feel like it. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear it? The fucking maintenance guys are here, the yard maintenance, whatever, with their fucking blowers and shit. We are over 2 hours, so it is probably about time to end the show anyhow. And as Barbara Nicholas would say, time to get my ass out the door. So we should probably end anyhow. And then these yard maintenance guys are here with their loud ass blowing machines. Damon Dog, old truckers never die. They just get a new Peterbilt. Ba-da-boom. Yep, they just get their new Peterbilt. Like I haven't heard that joke about 1,000,000 times. Barbara Nicholas says, Trucker, have a great day at work and safe driving. See you, everyone. Hey, Barbara Nicholas, thanks for being here. I don't know I'm not sure exactly how old these posts are. You might be gone if you were were you leaving? Were you leaving? Anyhow. But thanks for being here. Damon Dog, almost 420. Puff, puff, pass. Puff, 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 puff. Sharky, hey, Sharky. Paul Sharky Mannion. From across the pond. Thanks for coming on in. Oh, thanks for coming on in. Oh, yeah. Damon Dog, I thought they did leaf blow on Tuesdays. Well, apparently not, because they're here today. Mad Max Slava Ukraini, Josh Sees. I worked a year in a tool and die shop with a guy who spent a few years as a park employee at Yosemite. Nice dude, but batshit crazy. Well, there you go. All right, guys, I guess we should end the show so I can get to work and make my goal of 45 rides in a week. Like I said earlier, I think I'm at 27. If I go to work today and tomorrow, I think I could break 50. So let's go for it. Let's go for it. Today is Friday, but tomorrow is Saturday. So I guess we could do a House Sparks after show hangout if you guys are so inclined. Now I am competing with the leaf blower again. Just waiting for him to walk by. I don't know. Can you guys hear it? I can hear it. Sharky, this is kind of funny. Paul Sharky Mannion says, old truckers never die. They just get a bus pass. It's funny because I have a bus pass. Get them fares. Yeah. Oh, well. I might be waiting forever for this guy to leave. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Let's go back over the fan funding real quick here. Let me say some thank yous. We had Michael McAndrews started things off in a big way with a $50 super chat. Thank you, Michael. And Michael followed that up again with a $2 and a $2 and another $2. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. $58 in total from Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much. Yippee to Michael. Sandy Foltz coming in with a 10-month truckerversary. Yippee to Sandy Foltz. Thank you so much. And the memberships mean a lot because they really do help keep the show going. $1.99 a month. Can't beat it. Belfast Bob with 2 pounds. Yippee to Belfast Bob. Petrazi, $19.25 super chat. Yippee to Petrazi. Thank you so much. And then Sandy Foltz with a $1 super sticker. Yippee to Sandy. Thank you so much. And look at Damon Dog at the last second here coming in with a $4.99 super sticker. Yippee to Damon Dog. Thank you so much. This is getting very loud. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the guy is very loud, very annoying as I'm trying to thank you guys. The guy was just not having any of it, I guess. But thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Yeah, just under the wire. Thank you, Damon Doug. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I'll try to come in tomorrow at 11 a.m. and we can hang out right after House Sparks for a little bit. Yeah, let's do an after show, as Danny Pomeroy says. All right, guys. So now it's time for words of wisdom. Get your pad and your pen, something to write with, and write these down. They are very valuable, very, very, very good words of wisdom. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, so for today's words of wisdom, just remember, folks, to always
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. All screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid, at least when I was out there driving. I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, it's time to say goodbye, the show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry, we're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep, broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all, sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright, but now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free. So you wanna take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young, but all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love, it's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows, so go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everybody wants a piece of paradise, but where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Show's over, I'm out of here, folks. Bye.